Success isn't about luck. It's about preparation, persistence, and most importantly, habits. You can't build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation, and you can't achieve greatness with destructive habits holding you back. If you're serious about reaching your full potential, it's time to trade in some old habits for new ones that'll get you where you need to. Procrastination is a silent thief. It sneaks into your life, often disguised as harmless delay, and robs you of the opportunities that could have shaped your future. It whispers excuses in your ear: I'll start tomorrow, I work better under pressure. Or I just need to feel ready. But the truth is, waiting for the perfect moment is a trap. That moment rarely, if ever, comes. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It rewards those who show up, do the work, and stay consistent. You're replacing procrastination with discipline is not about perfection, it's about commitment. Discipline is the engine that keeps you moving, even when motivation runs out. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes like the wind, unpredictable and unreliable. Discipline, on the other hand, is steadfast. It says, I'll do what needs to be done no matter how I feel. It's waking up early to study for an exam, even when your bed is warm and inviting. It's showing up to the gym after a long day at work, even when your body aches for rest. Discipline doesn't negotiate with excuses, it executes the plan. One of the reasons people procrastinate is the fear of failure. The task at hand feels overwhelming, so they avoid it altogether, seeking comfort in distractions. But discipline sees failure differently, as it understands that failure is a stepping stone, not a dead end. When you embrace discipline, you learn to break tasks into manageable pieces. Instead of focusing on the enormity of the goal, you focus on the next step. It's not about running the entire marathon in one go. It's about taking the first stride, then the next, and then the next. Discipline also thrives on structure. Without a plan, procrastination has room to grow. When you create a schedule and stick to it, you eliminate uncertainty. You know what needs to be done, when and why. The structure gives you clarity, and clarity fuels action. Imagine starting your day with a clear plan, knowing exactly which tasks take priority. The temptation to procrastinate diminishes because there's no ambiguity, just a clear path forward. Another critical aspect of replacing procrastination with discipline is accountability. When you're accountable to yourself or others, you're less likely to put things off. Accountability adds weight to your commitments, making it harder to ignore them. Whether it's a mentor, friend, or even a journal where you track your progress, having a system of accountability reinforces your discipline. It reminds you that your actions or inactions have consequences. Let's not ignore the role of rewards in cultivating discipline. Discipline isn't about denying yourself joy, it's about earning it. When you complete a task, no matter how small, celebrate it. Reward yourself for the effort, not just the outcome. This positive reinforcement makes discipline feel less like a chore and more like a pathway to fulfillment. Procrastination often thrives on perfectionism, the belief that if you can't do something perfectly, it's better not to do it at all. Discipline, however, embraces imperfection. It says done is better than perfect. Each imperfect attempt is a learning opportunity, a chance to refine and improve. When you focus on progress instead of perfection, you free yourself from the paralysis of procrastination. Replacing procrastination with discipline also requires self-awareness. You need to recognize your triggers, the moments, environments, or feelings that tempt you to delay action. Maybe it's the allure of social media, the comfort of your couch, or the daunting size of the task ahead. Once you identify these triggers, you can create strategies to counteract them. Turn off notifications, set a timer, or start with just 5 minutes of focused work. Small actions like these can build momentum, and momentum is the enemy of procrastination. Discipline is not something you're born with, it's a skill you cultivate over time. Like a muscle, it grows stronger the more you use it. Each time you choose to act instead of delay, you reinforce the habit of discipline. And over time, this habit becomes second nature. Tasks that once felt burdensome become part of your routine. Ultimately, discipline is about self-respect. It's a way of honoring your goals, your potential, and the time you've been given. When you replace procrastination with discipline, you take control of your life. You stop waiting for opportunities to come to you and start creating them. The process isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Every small act of discipline moves you closer to the person you want to become. And that in itself is a victory. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we experience, and it has a way of gripping our hearts and holding us back. It whispers doubts, magnifies risks, and builds walls that seem insurmountable. Fear can make us question our worth, our abilities, and even our dreams. It thrives on uncertainty and feeds on the unknown, convincing us that the best course of action is to play it safe, stay comfortable, and avoid taking risks. But the truth is, living in fear is not living at all. To move forward and achieve greatness, we must replace fear with faith. Faith is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward despite it. Faith is believing in something greater than your current circumstances. It's trusting that even when you can't see the entire path, each step will bring you closer to where you need to be. Faith allows you to focus on possibilities rather than obstacles, on growth rather than failure. It gives you the courage to act, to try, and to keep going even when the outcome is uncertain. One of the reasons fear feels so overwhelming is because it often stems from focusing on worst-case scenarios. Our minds have a way of exaggerating potential problems, turning them into towering mountains that seem impossible to climb. Faith, however, shifts that focus. It encourages us to envision the best-case scenario, to believe that good things are possible and that we are capable of achieving them. This shift in perspective is not about ignoring risks or challenges, but about refusing to let them dictate our choices. Replacing fear with faith also requires trust in yourself, in the process, and in the possibilities that lie ahead. Self-trust is a cornerstone of faith. It's the belief that you have the strength, intelligence, and resilience to navigate whatever comes your way. When you trust yourself, you stop waiting for permission or validation from others. You take ownership of your decisions and your destiny. This self-trust doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes. It means you trust your ability to learn from them and grow stronger. Faith also involves letting go of the need for complete certainty. Fear often demands that we have all the answers before taking a step forward. But life rarely offers guarantees. Faith is about stepping into the unknown with confidence, knowing that you'll figure things out as you go. It's about embracing the journey, even when the destination isn't entirely clear. One of the most liberating aspects of faith is that it frees you from the fear of failure. Fear makes failure feel like the end, the defining moment that diminishes your worth. Faith, on the other hand, sees failure as a teacher. Each setback becomes an opportunity to learn, adapt, and try again. Faith understands that success is not a straight line, but a winding path filled with lessons and growth. As replacing fear with faith also requires surrounding yourself with the right influences. Fear often grows in isolation, fueled by negative thoughts and limiting beliefs. But when you surround yourself with positivity, whether it's uplifting people, inspiring stories, or empowering environments, faith begins to flourish. These influences remind you of what's possible, reinforcing your belief in your potential and your purpose. Another key to fostering faith is action. Fear thrives on inaction. The longer you wait, the bigger and scarier your fears become. But when you take even the smallest step forward, you disrupt fear's hold on you. Action breeds confidence, and confidence nurtures faith. Each small victory builds momentum, proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. Faith also requires patience. Fear often demands immediate answers and quick resolutions, but faith understands the value of time. It knows that progress is often slow and that the most meaningful achievements require perseverance. Faith gives you the strength to stay committed, even when the results aren't immediately visible. It reminds you that every effort, no matter how small, is a step closer to your goals. At its core, faith is about hope. It's about hope. It's about believing that no matter how dark or difficult things may seem, there is light ahead. Faith gives you the courage to dream big and the determination to pursue those dreams. It empowers you to take risks, to face challenges head on, and to rise above the limitations that fear tries to impose. By replacing fear with faith, you transform your mindset and your life. You stop being a prisoner of doubt and become a person of possibility. Fear may still whisper in the background, but faith drowns it out with a louder, stronger voice, the voice of belief, courage, and hope. Blame is a seductive habit. It offers an easy escape from responsibility, pointing fingers at circumstances, other people, or bad luck whenever things go wrong. When we blame, we relinquish control, convincing ourselves that our outcomes are dictated by external forces rather than our own actions. It feels comforting in the moment because it protects our ego, but over time it becomes a barrier to growth and success. Replacing blame with accountability is not just a shift in perspective, it's a transformation in how we approach life and our role within it. Accountability begins with the recognition that your choices shape your reality. While there are factors beyond your control, the way you respond to them is entirely within your power. When you stop blaming others or external circumstances, you reclaim that power. This isn't about self-blame or harsh criticism, it's about owning your actions, decisions, and their consequences. Accountability empowers you because it puts the steering wheel of your life back in your hands. Blame often arises from a fear of failure or criticism. It's a defense mechanism, a way to protect ourselves from feelings of inadequacy. But the irony is that by avoiding responsibility, we limit our ability to improve. This accountability, on the other hand, embraces failure as a natural part of the learning process. When you're accountable, you don't shy away from mistakes, you analyze them, learn from them, and use them as stepping stones toward growth. This shift in mindset transforms failures from obstacles into opportunities. Replacing blame with accountability also fosters a sense of ownership. When you take ownership of your life, you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start viewing yourself as the architect of your future. Ownership means acknowledging both your successes and your setbacks, understanding that your effort, decisions, and mindset play a critical role in shaping outcomes. This sense of ownership is deeply empowering because it reminds you that you have the ability to influence change. One of the most profound benefits of accountability is the clarity it brings. Blame creates confusion and resentment, clouding your judgment and preventing you from addressing the root of the problem. Accountability cuts through that fog, encouraging you to focus on what you can do to make things better. Instead of asking whose fault is this, you start asking, what can I do to improve this situation? This shift in focus leads to more productive actions and ultimately better results. This accountability also strengthens relationships. Blame often creates tension and division, eroding trust and collaboration. When you point fingers, you alienate others, making them defensive and less willing to work with you. But when you practice accountability, you demonstrate integrity and maturity. People respect those who own their mistakes and take steps to address them. Accountability fosters trust, encourages open communication, and strengthens connections, both personally and professionally. To cultivate accountability, start by examining your habits and thought patterns. Notice when you're tempted to blame external factors for your challenges. Catch yourself in those moments and shift your focus inward. Ask yourself, what role did I play in this situation? What could I have done differently? This self-reflection is the foundation of accountability. It's not about guilt or self-punishment. It's about gaining insight and using that insight to grow. Another key to accountability is setting clear expectations for yourself. When you have a strong sense of your goals and responsibilities, it's easier to stay on track and harder to fall into the blame game. Create a system to track your progress, whether it's a journal, a planner, or regular check-ins with a mentor or accountability partner. This structure not only keeps you focused, but also provides tangible evidence of your growth. Accountability also involves taking proactive steps to address problems. Instead of waiting for someone else to fix things, take the initiative. Whether it's learning a new skill, improving your communication, or finding creative solutions to challenges, proactive behavior reinforces your sense of agency. Each step you take toward resolving an issue strengthens your confidence and your commitment to accountability. Practicing accountability can be uncomfortable at first because it requires honesty and vulnerability. It's not easy to admit when you've fallen short or made a mistake. But this discomfort is temporary, and the rewards are lasting. Accountability builds character, resilience, and self-respect. It shifts your focus from limitations to possibilities, from excuses to actions. By embracing accountability, you pave the way for personal and professional growth. You stop being a spectator in your own life and become an active participant, fully engaged in creating the outcomes you desire. Accountability isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about showing up, owning your actions, and committing to being better every single day. Effort is seductive. It wraps you in a cocoon of familiarity, promising safety and ease. The routines, the habits that require little effort, and the environments where challenges are minimal all create a sense of security. But the truth is, comfort is not a place of progress, it's a trap. While it may feel satisfying in the short term, it stifles potential and keeps you from achieving what you're truly capable of. Growth, on the other hand, is where life's possibilities expand. It's where you push boundaries, discover new strengths, and uncover opportunities that were invisible from your comfort zone. Growth requires stepping into the unknown. It demands that you trade the certainty of comfort for the unpredictability of challenge. This is often intimidating because the unfamiliar is naturally unsettling. The mind tends to resist change, clinging to what feels safe, even when it's no longer serving you. But staying in your comfort zone is like planting a seed and refusing to water it. There's no room for anything to flourish. Growth happens only when you dare to stretch beyond what you know. The discomfort of growth is not a punishment, it's a process. Think about how muscles grow. They require strain, resistance, and sometimes pain to become stronger. The same principle applies to personal and professional development. When you face challenges, you may feel the strain of uncertainty or the discomfort of failure, but these experiences are what build resilience, creativity, and confidence. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you expand your capacity to handle more, to do more, and to be more. One of the biggest obstacles to embracing growth is fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. These fears keep you tethered to what feels familiar, convincing you that staying put is safer than venturing out. But the irony is that the real risk lies in staying in your comfort zone. Over time, the world moves forward while you remain stagnant, and the opportunities you once had slip away. Growth may feel risky, but stagnation guarantees regret. Choosing growth means adopting a mindset that values learning over comfort. It's about seeing setbacks not as failures, but as lessons. When you shift your perspective to view challenges as opportunities for growth, the fear of stepping out of your comfort zone begins to diminish. Every new experience, whether it leads to success or failure, teaches you something valuable. Growth is not about perfection, it's about progress, and progress only happens when you're willing to try. Another critical aspect of growth is embracing change. Change is often uncomfortable because it disrupts the status quo, forcing you to adapt. But change is also the gateway to new possibilities. It's through change that you discover untapped potential, meet new people, and encounter opportunities that can transform your life. Instead of resisting change, lean into it. Trust that the discomfort is temporary and that the rewards of growth are worth the effort. To foster growth, set goals that challenge you. Comfort zone goals are easy to achieve, but they don't push you to evolve. Stretch goals, on the other hand, require effort, creativity, and perseverance. These goals force you to develop new skills, think differently, and work harder than you're used to. They may be daunting at first, but each step you take toward them builds momentum and confidence. Surrounding yourself with the right influences is another essential part of growth. The people you spend time with can either encourage you to stay in your comfort zone or inspire you to reach higher. Seek out mentors, peers, and friends who challenge you to think bigger and do better. Their support and insights can help you navigate the discomfort of growth and stay motivated along the way. Growth also requires reflection. When you step out of your comfort zone, take time to reflect on what you're learning and how you're changing. This reflection helps you recognize your progress and appreciate the journey. It reminds you that even though growth is challenging, it's also incredibly rewarding. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and use them as fuel to keep pushing forward. Ultimately, choosing growth means choosing to bet on yourself. It's a decision to prioritize your potential over your present ease. While the path of growth is rarely smooth, it's the only path that leads to fulfillment and success. Comfort may offer temporary satisfaction, but growth offers a lifetime of possibilities. When you embrace growth, you discover just how much you're capable of achieving. And that realization is worth every ounce of effort. My excuses are an easy way out. They provide a shield, protecting us from the discomfort of effort and responsibility. They whisper justifications for inaction, convincing us that circumstances, timing, or other people are the reasons for our stagnation. While excuses may feel like a temporary relief, they are barriers to progress. Every excuse we make is a missed opportunity to grow, to learn, and to achieve. To replace excuses with effort is to take a bold step toward owning your potential and shaping your future. Effort is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from, what challenges you face, or how much talent you have. Effort is the factor that bridges the gap between dreams and reality. When you replace excuses with effort, you stop looking for reasons why you can't and start focusing on what you can do. It's a mindset shift that transforms obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into setups for success. Excuses often come from a fear of failure. It's easier to say, I couldn't do it because of this or that, than to face the possibility of falling short. But the truth is, failure is not the end, it's part of the journey. Effort acknowledges that failure might happen, but chooses to act anyway. It understands that every attempt, successful or not, is a step forward. Each time you make an effort, you gain experience, learn valuable lessons, and build the resilience to keep going. Replacing excuses with effort also requires a shift in perspective. Excuses focus on limitations, what you don't have, what's working against you, or why the odds aren't in your favor. Effort, on the other hand, focuses on possibilities. As it asks, what can I do with what I have? How can I make progress with the resources available to me? This perspective shift is empowering because it places the emphasis on action rather than obstacles. Effort thrives on accountability. When you hold yourself accountable, you take ownership of your actions and their outcomes. Instead of blaming external factors, you ask yourself, did I give it my all? Could I have done more? This honest self-reflection is a cornerstone of growth. It pushes you to show up consistently and give your best even when circumstances aren't ideal. Effort doesn't demand perfection, it demands commitment. Another important aspect of replacing excuses with effort is the recognition that small actions matter. Excuses often arise from the belief that you can't make a significant impact right away, so why bother trying? But effort understands the power of small, consistent steps. Every little bit of progress adds up over time, creating momentum that can lead to extraordinary results. Whether it's 5 minutes of exercise, 1 page of writing, or a single productive conversation, small efforts compound to create big changes. Effort also requires perseverance. Excuses often stem from the desire for quick results. When things don't happen immediately, it's tempting to give up and justify the inaction with an excuse, but real progress takes time and persistence. Effort is about showing up again and again, even when the results are slow or invisible. It's about trusting the process and understanding that consistency is more important than instant gratification. The beauty of effort is that it builds confidence. Each time you push past an excuse and take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable. This confidence becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. The more effort you put in, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the more effort you're willing to give. Over time, this cycle replaces the habit of making excuses with a habit of taking action. Surrounding yourself with the right influences can also help replace excuses with effort. When you're around people who prioritize action and accountability, their mindset rubs off on you. They inspire you to push harder, aim higher, and do more. On the other hand, environments filled with excuse makers can drag you down, reinforcing a mentality of inaction. Choose your company wisely and let their drive and determination fuel your own efforts. Effort also involves celebrating progress. When you take action, no matter how small, acknowledge it. Rewarding your effort reinforces the habit and motivates you to keep going. Excuse often focus on what's lacking, but effort focuses on what's been achieved. By recognizing your wins, you shift your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility and pride. Replacing excuses with effort transforms not only your outcomes, but also your character. It builds discipline, resilience, and self-respect. Each active effort is a declaration that you value your goals and are willing to work for them. Excuses may offer temporary comfort, but they come at the cost of long-term success. Effort, on the other hand, demands more in the moment but delivers far greater rewards in the end. Transformation is often perceived as a dramatic, sweeping event, a single, life-altering moment that completely reshapes who you are or where you're going. While those moments can happen, true and lasting transformation more often stems from small, consistent changes. The little decisions you make every day, the habits you form, and the steps you take, no matter how small, have the power to create profound shifts over time. This is the power of small changes. They are accessible, sustainable, and when compounded, lead to remarkable transformation. One of the reasons small changes are so effective is that they feel manageable. Big goals and dramatic shifts can be overwhelming, leaving you paralyzed and unsure of where to start, but small changes are different. They are approachable, easy to integrate into your life, and don't require an overhaul of your current routine. By focusing on what you can do today, right now, you eliminate the excuse of waiting for the perfect moment or circumstances to begin. Small changes also build momentum. Each small action you take is like a single domino falling, triggering a chain reaction. Whether it's deciding to drink a glass of water first thing in the morning, taking a 10-minute walk, or dedicating 5 minutes to deep breathing, these small acts create a ripple effect. They not only impact the moment, but also influence your mindset, encouraging you to take the next step and the next. Over time, these consistent actions add up, creating momentum that carries you toward your larger goals. Transformation through small changes also emphasizes progress over perfection. Too often, people abandon their goals because they believe every step must be flawless. But small changes teach you that imperfection is part of the process. Missing a day, stumbling along the way, or having setbacks doesn't erase the progress you've made. What matters is getting back on track and continuing to take small steps forward. This mindset shift helps you stay committed and resilient, even in the face of challenges. Another powerful aspect of small changes is their ability to reshape identity. Every small action you take reinforces the person you are becoming. For example, when you consistently choose to read for 10 minutes each day, you start to see yourself as a reader. It's when you prioritize a short workout, you begin to identify as someone who values fitness. These small, repeated actions build a sense of identity that aligns with your goals, making it easier to stay committed to the changes you're implementing. Small changes also compound over time, creating exponential growth. The principle of compounding isn't just about finances, it applies to personal growth, habits, and skills as well. A 1% improvement each day may seem insignificant, but over weeks, months, and years, those small changes lead to extraordinary results. The power of compounding lies in consistency. By sticking to small, incremental changes, you unlock growth and transformation that would be impossible through sporadic, large efforts. The beauty of small changes is their adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and rigid plans often fail because they don't account for changing circumstances. Small changes, however, are flexible. If one approach isn't working, you can adjust without feeling like you've lost progress. This adaptability makes it easier to sustain your efforts over time, no matter what life throws your way. Small changes also impact your mindset and emotional well-being. Each time you successfully implement a small change, you experience a sense of accomplishment. This positive reinforcement boosts your confidence and motivation, making it easier to continue making improvements. Over time, the accumulation of these small victories creates a more positive outlook and a greater belief in your ability to create change. Furthermore, small changes encourage mindfulness. They require you to pay attention to your choices and actions, bringing awareness to areas of your life that may have previously operated on autopilot. This mindfulness helps you identify patterns and behaviors that no longer serve you empowering you to make intentional decisions that align with your values and goals. The key to making small changes transformative is consistency. A single small change may not seem like much, but when repeated consistently, it becomes a habit. Habits are the building blocks of transformation because they operate automatically, requiring less conscious effort over time. By creating habits through small changes, you lay a foundation for sustained growth and improvement. Small changes also inspire others. When people see you making steady progress, they are encouraged to take similar steps in their own lives. Your commitment and growth become a source of motivation, creating a ripple effect that extends beyond your own transformation. Ultimately, small changes remind you that transformation is not about grand gestures or overnight success. It's about the daily choices you make, the actions you take, and the commitment you show to becoming the best version of yourself. Through patience, persistence, and a willingness to start small, you unlock the extraordinary power of transformation, one step at a time.